Hey guys, coming at you with a gouki deck, as requested in the comments. This is more specifically a gouki Dark Warrior Orcust deck. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Start off with, we're playing the best gouki that you want to draw in multiples, if you draw them in multiples, because this one you can actually normal summon and then special summon the other one if you happen to draw both, or another gouki card, and then just go right into Isold. So very good card. 2 Octastretch. This is normally the one that you want to special summon off of Isold, because you only have to send one equip spell. And all of the goukis have the effect of, if they're sent from the field to the grave, you can add one gouki card from your deck. So that includes the really good spell card I'll be showing you later. So 2 Octastretch, 2 Twist Cobra. He's the level 3 one. 1 Head Bat and 1 Scorpio. They're just, not as good, but like I said, they all have that same effect if they leave the field and go to the grave. So overall, it's a good engine, just for gaining you some advantage, and they're all warriors, like I said. So easy to go and Isold with those. I played 1 Crusadia Arborea. This one, if you have a link monster, you can special summon this in defense position, and it's another warrior, extender. It's also a tuner, so that does come up every now and then. So it'll be a level 3 tuner when you special summon it. But that's just a good one that I would definitely recommend playing this in any warrior deck. 3 Neospace Connector and the 1 Aqua Dolphin. Probably the best mini engine in this deck. Just gives you a lot of options. At the very least, you're going to be ripping 2 cards out of your opponent's hand, if this resolves. But more often than not, you're going to be even doing more than that. You're going to be, going into Isold and just doing a whole bunch more. It's just a good overall play starter. You want to see this in almost all your opening hands. It's super good. Blue Mountain Butterspy is a warrior extender. It's probably my favorite one, because you can chain block with it. So say you open these 2 cards, when you normal summon this, you chain this effect to special summon, and then they cannot ash this because you chain blocked it. So it's a really good card. The other extender we play alongside that is 3 Photon Thrasher. You can play other ones as well. This is just the one I have. It's a level 4. Doesn't come up too much, but for some of your synchro plays, it does. Him, if you control no cards, you just special summon him. So really good going first. Like that card a lot. And then we do our mini Armageddon Knight engine, which is just 1 Armageddon Knight, 1 Dark Grepher, and 2 Destiny Hero Malicious. Still really good. Obviously we don't have these all at 3 anymore, but playing what you can is still too good not to play in a Dark Warrior deck. And then now for the Orcust, just a small little engine. It's not the focus of the deck. It's just kind of there in case you wanna go into it. So we do 2 Nightmare, 1 Harporer, and 1 Skeleton. I don't feel like you need any more. Obviously you can play however many you want, or however many little you want, but this feels perfect for me. I like playing them at that. And then the final 2 monsters are 1 Destrudo and 1 Mare. I feel like, the Yazi Mare is just way too good going second, to not play that, because, obviously this is a go first deck, but if you happen to go second, you still want to be able to do something, and this just opens up, a lot of stuff for you. And then Destrudo, obviously, for the synchro plays, and Yazi and all that. They're not one of the better spell cards. 2 Kooky Rematch this is normally going to be one of your first searches off of one of your Kooky monsters that goes to the grave. Because at that point you should have 2 Gookies in the grave, and then you can then activate this to target 2 with different levels and special summon them. So that just gives you so many options, and just really good card. I like it at 2 as well. You know, 1 for early game, 1 for late game. So, and then your equip spells. We do Phoenix Blade. That's probably the most important one. Because you're going to be banishing the 2 monsters and adding this back to hand, which gives you just more fodder for your nightmare cards to, you know, discard off of them. DDR is a super good one because you can target one of your banished monsters and special summon it. Autonomous action unit, you can special summon a monster from your grave as well. Moon Mirror Shield and Axe of Fools. Honestly, you really don't want to draw any of these. I was just calling those off because, you know, if you happen to draw them, you still want to be able to use them, which all of these are usable even if you draw them. But obviously, for the most part, you want to be sending these off of I sold. That's the whole reason you play them. So we play those. You know, play whatever you got. I would make it a point to play this one at least, and then the other ones, it doesn't really matter. One of the better, you know, going first cards in this deck as well, or going second. This is just too good not to play at 3 as well. Instant Fusion. It is only once per turn, so it's obviously very bricky if you happen to draw 2 of them. But I'll show you the cards in the extra deck that are the targets for this. But they just help you either with your combos or just going second. So 3 Instant Fusion, a necessity. 3 Called by the Grave, another one you have to play because this is such a combo heavy deck. You need to make sure your opponents, you know, if all you have is this and no Butter Spy, you want to be able to normal summon this with confidence and be able to get your Aqua Dolphin. And so Called by the Grave helps with that a lot. So play that at 3. And then kind of the one-ofs, best ones for this deck. Foolish Burial, to send any card you need to the grave. Destrudo, Malicious, whatever you need there. Reinforcement of the Army almost searches out all of your warrior cards that you could possibly need. Monster Reborn, for obvious reasons, special summon anything from the grave. And then the Orcust cards we play, do Orchestrated Babel and Crescendo. You play this obviously because we don't have Rusty Bardich anymore, so you're not going to be getting those Fog Blades, so you still need something to stop a few plays from your opponent. So Crescendo and Babel are very important, I feel. And then the last 2 kind of extenders are Shade Brigandine. Again, we don't have Bardage, so we can't get these as easily, but it's always good to draw them. And then just special summon them. Extra deck. It's actually, I was looking at it, it's similar to my last deck profile, the Nightmare Spirals, because the Nightmare play is pretty easy to do in this deck as well, and it's very strong again. But we start off with one I sold, most important one in your extra deck. You always want to be making this, always want it to resolve, hence why we play the Called by the Grave as well. You just, if it gets gammed, that's like the worst thing in the world, but if your opponent has it, they have it, but you definitely want to play that. 1 Galatea, that's the only Orcust I play. You can play like Longgear Sue. I've actually thought of it, but space is actually kind of tight in this extra deck. 1 Linkuriboh, because our Octastretch is a level 1, so going into that is actually not difficult at all, and it helps a lot with your plays, making your plays. Trigate Wizard, it's possible to make it, so why not? You get a nice little negate on board. So that's it for the kind of just the generic normal ones. And then we have our nightmares, which play Mermaid, Phoenix, Cerberus, Unicorn, and Griffin. And actually in this build, Unicorn is not as important. Basically about the only time I go into it, you know, it's just universe. You can use it anytime you want. Yeah, going into that, it just doesn't come up too often. You're mostly going to be doing it when you do your Yazi plays, Yazi Mamere plays. You'll be using that to kind of shuffle in another card that your opponent has. Your other 4s are going to be Saryuja Skulldread and Borlode. They're the 2 cheapest link 4s that are still like extremely good. Obviously, especially Saryuja, just draw power and special summoning from hand is super good. And then Borlode, again, there's decks that have a major problem getting around a Borlode. So play those if you can. And then the synchros, Dawn Dragster for going first. It's always good to get that spell trap negate. That's just always something to do going first, is just at least get a spell trap negate. And then 1 Yazi for going second. It's killer. Works wonders for you. And then our 2 instant fusion targets, going first, we got Carbonala Warrior or Invoked Raijin, if you have it laying around, but just a warrior is all you need for doing your Isold plays. And then the other target for going second is Thousand Eyes Restrict for just, you know, stealing a card or a monster your opponent has, getting rid of problem cards. And the side deck, I'll just kind of run through pretty quick. Like I said, since this is mostly a going first deck, the side deck is catered to going second. So we play a lot of hand traps. So Gamma, Driver, I feel like it's the best one for going second. The best hand trap is Gamma. Ash Blossom, super good, and now it's common, so everyone should have them. 3 Effect Veiler. I like this one actually, you know, sometimes more than Ash, because if you happen to draw 2 of these, you can use both of them, whereas obviously Ash is just once per turn. So that one's really good. The kind of forgotten hand trap, DD Crow. Play it if you can, because it's a card that against this deck, it'll do some damage, and honestly most decks, because they want to get stuff into the grave and then activate some effect, and you just chain this and it hurts them. Final one is going to be Pankratops. It's just really, really good. Get some attack on board. It's just hard on a lot of decks. So yeah, that's it for this deck. It's really fun. It's it's kind of competitive, but yeah. So that's it for this deck. In the comments down below, just kind of request. I did a list in my Nightmare Spiral. I might post another one in the comments here of some decks that I have upcoming. Yeah, just let me know what you want to see. I'll try to get them done and post it as soon as I can. So thanks guys for watching.